Okay, let's talk about one of the absolute toughest parts of the infertility journey, what it does to a relationship. But what if that very struggle, the thing that feels like it's pushing you apart, could actually become your greatest strength as a couple? That's what this is all about. Trading blame for teamwork and turning that feeling of isolation into a united plan.
Does this feel familiar? You get a negative pregnancy test, and suddenly dinner is completely silent. It's that heavy, quiet feeling where you're both hurting, but instead of turning toward each other, you're secretly wondering, is it my fault? Is it theirs? If infertility is starting to feel like this unwelcome third person in your relationship, you are so not alone. It's incredibly common. But we're about to flip that script.
So where do we even begin? Well, the very first step is to completely reframe the problem. This is about making a huge shift in how you see it, moving away from who's to blame and seeing this for what it really is, a challenge that you face as one unit.
And this right here, this is maybe the most important thing to get. Infertility is a medical condition, period. It is not a personal failing. The moment you and your partner can really, truly let that sink in, that's the moment you take your power back from the blame game. And listen, this isn't just some nice feel-good idea. It is a cold, hard medical fact, as you're about to see.
This brings us to what I call the team diagnosis. The science itself, the actual medical evidence, just completely dismantles the whole idea that this is one person's problem. When you actually look at the data, a very, very different picture starts to emerge.
Take a look at this breakdown. It's pretty surprising, right? Roughly a third of cases are linked to female factors, and another third to male factors. But look at that biggest slice of the pie. It's either a combination of factors from both partners, or it's officially unexplained. If you do the math, that means in a staggering 2/3 of all cases, both partners' health plays a role. So pointing fingers isn't just emotionally destructive, it's medically meaningless. And here's where the magic happens. This is the real emotional payoff. When you stop seeing this as your problem or my problem and start seeing it as our challenge, you get your partnership back. The diagnosis stops being this wedge driving you apart and, as the quote says, it becomes something your relationship can actually hold together.
So it's pretty simple, right? If it's a team diagnosis, it needs a team game plan. And that shift in thinking just naturally leads to a much more collaborative and honestly a more effective way of finding solutions.
So why is it so often a combined issue? Well, think about it. Things like age and lifestyle, stress, diet, sleep, they don't pick a side. They affect both egg and sperm quality. Or sometimes it's these super subtle hormonal imbalances in both partners that on their own wouldn't be a big deal, but together they create a barrier. And of course, unexplained infertility is really the ultimate team diagnosis.
So your treatment plan should absolutely reflect this team reality. It starts at Tier 1, lifestyle optimization for both of you. A small improvement from each partner can completely change the equation. Tier 2 might be something like IUI, which just helps give the team a bit of a head start. And for the more complex stuff, Tier 3 is where you get advanced care like IVF, which is kind of the great equalizer, bypassing a lot of those combined problems in the lab.
Okay, the medical journey is one thing, but protecting your bond through all of this, that's everything. That's why we need a relationship prescription. A few non-negotiable strategies to keep your love for each other right at the center of this whole journey.
Here they are, 3 powerful rules for your bond. First up, schedule an infertility-free zone. I'm serious? Put it on the calendar. 1 night a week with zero talk of cycles, clinics, or costs. Just remember why you fell in love. Second, create a worry window. Give yourselves just 15 minutes a day to talk about it, stress about it, whatever. Then the timer goes off and you put it away. It doesn't get to take over your entire life. And third, and this is huge, define your shared story. You are not broken, you are teammates on a mission.
Let's focus on that last point for a second, because choosing your narrative is so important. It can define the entire experience. The story you tell yourselves about this journey, well, that's the difference between feeling hopeless and feeling empowered.
Because ultimately, you do get to choose your story. You can live in that old one asking, are we broken, which only leads to feeling more alone. Or you can step into your new narrative. We are a team facing a medical challenge, side by side. This isn't just a small change in words. It's a massive change in your mindset and your resilience. So let's bring it all home with this one question. Remember, this whole thing is a shared challenge. The most powerful tool you have is your partnership. Protecting that bond is the first and most profound step you can take. So think about it. What is one small thing you can do to be a team today?